Good morning, everyone. What's up, Ronan? LC, you're back. Good to see you guys. Well, it's been an interesting last couple of days. This is sort of the last full week of this contract. Next week we'll start the rollover process, and yeah. So this is going to be the last full week of volume in this old March contract before we roll into June. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Welcome to the folks on YouTube. Good to see you. You got it, Mike. We'll keep it gangster, right? Just like Snoop says. Oh, man. You'll forgive me. I'm still a little stuffed up. I don't know. Sounds weird. The old. Still a wee bit stuffed up. You have to excuse my sniffling. Let's see. What are we facing here? What are we up to? What are we going to do with this market? Oh, man. So it seems that we have a bit of a perma bid at 75.42. Let's see if that holds today. We still haven't taken out yesterday's low. We're really close to it right now, right? So we just put in a new overnight low, and thing is, overnight inventory is very short. Yeah, it's probably about 97% short because 97% of the volume and more is underneath yesterday's close. Hey, Teen, what's going on, man? COVID. I think I did have COVID, Moran. I honestly think I did had COVID because I was sick for a long time. So, anywho, I'm hard to kill, so no big deal. Let's see if we can take out those 42s today. Let's see what's lurking underneath this market. All right. As we go into contract rollover next week, we are going to be splitting the volume between two contracts, okay? So, where's my handy dandy quote board? Sorry if I'm a little distracted. Hey, George, 97% of that inventory is short, right? Now, that usually means we get a move upwards. But if we don't get a move upwards and inventory is short, the market's trying to say, hey, buddy, psst, psst, psst. Something's a little different, right? They're sellers. So the new contract is trading 76.11. We're trading 75.47. So you can see that the new contract is usually always 60 points higher. And it's not traded any volume yet. It's only traded 6,400 contracts. So volume's light, before we roll into the thing. It's next week, isn't it? Next week is the 9th to the 13th. Yeah, I guess by next Friday we'll roll into the new contract, right? So let's see. I have a feeling, and now my feelings really don't mean anything until they're backed up by actual order flow. I think we're going to go try that overnight yesterday low, which matched up exactly with the previous day low. Curious, right? LC, as the private equity guy would say, oh, how curious, right? So if we take that level out, if we take out 42, we've got all of this candy above it. And I think that would be a bit of a piñata low. And if we take that out, I think it would be healthy if we took it out. And we'd go and try and tickle some of these lower stops. So there are some stops here, just around 33. This is the cost basis before the move, okay? So we've been sitting on top of that cost basis now for like literally the whole week. And every time we get close to it, look, bid, 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 right? So interesting. It's going to be an interesting, and these are the single prints that all you guys were talking about. And we filled them down to here. That's why we have a bid, because these guys, these idiots from the 28th are short this move up, and we've been in pure distribution, right? It's okay where you're short. I don't know where you're short from, Rags. Shit, I mean, if you're short from 7,600 up, good for you, right? As John Lovitz would say, good for you, Jack, right? It's a beautiful thing. I miss short selling. You know, I was trained by two of the most feared short sellers in the world. Then 2005 came along and they changed the stupid rules. That would be really nice. You know, if they got rid of, they got rid of the PDT rule. Right, now let's get rid of regulation SHO and bring back naked shorting. Right? Let's make America great again and bring back naked short selling. Now this doesn't mean you can short sell without any clothes on. It means that you don't have to borrow stock to short. I really miss that. Right? Yeah, they got rid of the PDT rule. Let's get rid of SHO next, Reg SHO. And then we can actually make some money shorting. That's why they got rid of it, to prop this market up, right? Do I use anchored VWAP? I have nothing against anchored VWAP. I anchor my VWAP at the Globex Open. So 6 p.m. New York time is where I anchor my VWAP. The problem with me and anchored VWAP is once I start using it and anchoring it all over the place, I need to buy 5 screens, 10 screens, because I need more screens because I'm anchoring VWAP all over the frickin' place. So I just leave it in one place now, because I'm not really an active trader, right? I scalp, I like to make my money, and I like to get out. I'm old. I have nothing against anchored VWAP, and Brian Shannon, who wrote the book on it, is a good friend of the room. We love Brian. I secretly think Brian works with Dell Computer and has a back-end deal with them, because as soon as you start playing with anchored VWAP, you start buying more monitors. I know, I had 2 monitors, and then Brian came out with this anchored VWAP. All of a sudden I have 3 monitors, and then I have 4, right? I think Brian's getting a cut of monitor sales. Yeah, PDD changed yesterday, so bring in, bring in the day traders, right? As the Penguin would say, commence la festival. right? If sellers initiate at the top and buyers come in at the bottom, yeah, but that's a great idea. But how many anchors are you going to have? You're going to have VWAP all over the place, right? And that's just one candle. Now, if you use it on a longer time frame candle, like maybe a 4-hour candle, eh? Or an hour candle, then you won't have as many lines on your screen. Listen, I have nothing against that idea. I think it's a capital idea, but I'll let you test it out and tell me how it's working for you. Okay? Because right now, some people have me off in EMA Wonderland. So let's see if we take out that previous day low. We're right at the bottom of my 4 times cost basis. And if you look at the candles here, my friends, oh, hang on. If you look at the candles, you'll see that we're in like, it's like choppy as hell, eh? Look at, they just bang, bang, bang. Let's see, I'm going to mark off these levels here. So we go from 2 times to 4 times. It would be, a liquidation on Fridays is always nice. It doesn't always happen, but it is nice when it does. Fidelity is lowering the minimum count to buy SpaceX IPO from 500K to 2K. Wow, that's a big jump. That is a big jump. That's huge. Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be enough screens there, champ. Oh, man. It's the thing about technology, you can get too much into it. We always have to remember our ex's boss who became a billionaire using one monitor, right? Billionaire prop trader, one screen. Always remember that. Not a bad way to go. When you need buyers, you do lower minimums, right? Keep them coming, right? Keep them coming. Keep them trading. That's a good thing. Okay, how are we going to trade this here? Honestly, if you are, I don't know, let's let it open and see if it holds 44, okay? And if it does, remember the trades to the upside because this frickin' thing is going to correct inventory up. All right, we've got sellers. Look, we've got sellers right here, right? They're talking to us. So we've got sellers just at 50. Where's the point of control? It's 4,000 contracts over 61. There's not enough size down there. We're going to open any time here, 16 seconds. Just let it open. Remember, it's Friday, right? You want to condition yourselves to be a little lazy on a Friday, okay? Let everybody else jump off the cliff first, okay? Right? If you're not a fast trader, you don't have to trade the open, okay? A little choppy. Give it another. Give it 30 seconds, right? Let's see if, look below and fail of the overnight low. Let's go see if we can fill in those single prints. There's the previous day low, right? Don't go long until it reclaims the previous day low. Okay? Wait. Give it some time, right? Let them caramelize the onions, so to speak, okay? If you are long the previous day low, right, you need it to accept over 45, 46. Now, when the market comes up over a level, my thought is, where the hell are they going to sell into it, right? So I'm always looking for a seller. So if I'm long 44, leaping lizards, look at that go. I bought 4 contracts at 45, and I'm flat, right? Now that is a trade I've screwed up a lot, and I learned how to be fast. And you will too in time. Don't worry. You'll get it. In time you'll learn this trade. You'll be fast. Remember the reason why we're going long, we went into the single prints, we found the bid, the buyers stepped in, the sellers went, "Oh great, suckers. Let's raise price," right? 43 to 45, that is a beautiful trade. Rockstar trade location of liquid. That is like rockstar trade location. Like 1980s hairband rockstar trade location. You know, you put your Corvette right outside the Whiskey A Go-Go. If any of you are old enough to remember that place, or the Roxy, or the China Club. I'm talking LA nightclubs. All right, the next set of sellers we're going to have is 75, 52, 53. Right, so we're going to build a little position here. Right, now we're going to take that 52, we're going to take this inventory. We got to do something with this, right? We got to go up and take it and get rid of it up here. I am working on adding tips when it's a trending day. What I am looking at for a trend day is I'm looking at using the 9 or the 20 EMA, right? I have some friends use the 9, some use the 20, but then people go, you got to use the 35 and the 36, and then you got to take the square root of pi. Keep it simple. I don't know. I'm not an EMA guy. Steve uses the 9, and it seems to work really nicely. Then our friend R. Croy uses the 20, and that seems to work nicely. So once a position is established, like it is now, right? I'm a little premature. We're trying to establish the position here. Once that position is established, then we can maybe go and use an EMA if we start trending and if we hold the trend. So it is something that I'm working on putting in my toolbox, right? Right now we're in shop. So what we're doing is we're scrubbing the market, right? There's trapped long inventory above us from the last couple of days. We're trying to take that inventory and sell it higher. But we need to get all of that inventory before we move. Because you want to have all the supply before you take a market up, right? That's how everybody thinks. That's how everybody works. We're all taught the same way, right? So, oh, look, there's a couple of contracts under the couch. Get those. There's some contracts under the bed. Better get those. You know, there's a couple at 48. Let's go pick those up, right? You want to have that whole position. Chop is like a vacuum cleaner, right? You go back and forth, build a position, you flush out the longs, you trap the shorts. You flush out the longs, you trap the shorts. And then you rip it. trying to give me advice on VWAP? Thank you. That's adorable. I do use VWAP, right? Right? VWAP is useless as tits on a bull in a trending market. The EMA hugs price much better, right? Like right now, VWAP is 75.58, right? It's useless for us right now. What it is, it's the target if we put a position together. I'm talking when the market breaks and starts holding an EMA, that's when you can take a trade and stay in the trade. Two different completely tools. Trust me, I do use VWAP, right? Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not beating up on you, right? I'm not beating up on you at all, right? But I do know how to use VWAP. I've probably made $6 billion for my clients using VWAP. So it's something I'm very familiar with, right? But what we're doing now is we're waiting for them to establish a bottom, right? It would have been a nice short entry, Ragdaddy. Man, you love shorting, don't you? Right? I do too. I miss shorting, right? I miss shorting, right? Let's see where the next little bid comes in, right? Let's see where we bid, okay? Still a seller, right? There's still a seller, and that's good. It's healthy, right? I want to see if we can get down to 37 and 3/4, right? Now, if you are a short seller, right, and you want to be Johnny on the spot, when the next candle opens and we stay under 44, you can short 40. You can short and put your stop at 44.45. Okay. If it starts reclaiming 44.45, then that trade's not going to work, right? It might feel a little late. If we get back over the overnight low and get back over 45, then the short doesn't work, right? That's shorting in the hole, and we don't want to short in the hole, right? Looking for the 37s, I said, right? That green box is full of buy orders, right? Green box is full of buy orders. There's just a couple of singles left. So now as we creep up to the 42s, let's see if yeah, I mean, the 40s and the 42s, let's see if the seller's still there, right? Because the sellers moved from there down to here, right? Okay. So if you're shorting this area, go put some bids, at the 38s, right? Short 40 covering 38 and 3/4. Take one back. Take two back at 38. Just a couple of points. This is cool. It's Friday. I don't want to work too hard, right? It's been a good week. It's been a very good week. The goal is to keep the money I made for my clients this week. So I'm just going to kind of take it easy. I'm going to do some scalping, right? No, not going to break a sweat. And I'm not going to give back a penny of the money I made this week for my clients, right? It's one thing to make the money. It's the other thing is to keep the money, right? That's the second part of the equation, right? We want to keep what we made. Otherwise, there's no use making it if you can't keep it, right? There you go, Rags. Nice, nice. Now you're using a 75 MA. Where the hell did you get that number from? That one I've never even heard of. Is that like the secret MA where the supermodels hang out? You need special access? You know, like those clubs in the meatpacking district in the 90s? You know, there's no name on the door, invitation only, right? Now we got a seller at 40, where is that? 40, blah, 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 blah. 41 and three quarter, 41 and a half. It's okay, Common. Don't worry about it. I'll never insult you guys. I'm just joking around when I say things like that, right? So like right now, VWAP is useless as tits on a bullet. It's way up there. It's having a coffee break up at 75.56. We're trading 36. But it'll come in handy later on. Don't worry. Don't forget about it, okay? Right? I'm glad you did well. It's been a good trading week, Rags. It's been a good trading week. We're going to go tickle that 33 stop. So if you were short the 40s, I covered kind of early, right? Because it's Friday and I'm lazy. But if you're still short, just use my levels here, here, and here. Put some bids ahead of my levels and see if we come in and take out those bids. Now, of course, if those bids don't get filled, you can go and start covering a little, pay up, right? That's what we do, right? Yeah, so when candles are around VWAP, what's going on is there's a whole bunch of different order flow. Because everybody, his dog, his cat, his raccoon, his skunk, whatever is your preferred pet, they're all got their orders around VWAP, right? That's why there's sometimes a bit of a traffic jam around VWAP, right? VWAP is a great place to get out of trades. Like say we put a position together and we were long, I'd be out at VWAP, right? It's not a place where I initiate, right? Right now, it's kind of a non-event because we're nowhere near it, right? So I use the levels now, right? I use the levels, my cost basis levels. They work. They've been working now for 10 years because it's about the market. It's about inventory and cost basis. There really is nothing else in trading. As much as people love to tell you there is, there's really nothing else. You have an inventory. That inventory is priced. You take it and sell it. If you can't sell it, you put it on sale, right? Hey, raccoons make good pets, George. Very highly intelligent little animals. Okay, and we're still going and going and going. Where's our lower stops here? Ah, let's look for the 26s and see if we catch a bid. 75.11 is our ultimate destination trade. Now, I don't know how many people are still short that 76.31 all the way down. Yesterday took out a lot of the shorts. If you reinitiated and you're short size position, you're looking for a break of 26 and three quarter, and then your ultimate destination trade is 75.11. Zones are working nice, right? If you're short, you can stay short. The offer keeps getting lower on every single candle, right? That's good. It's healthy. Liquidation is healthy, right? Keeps the wheels greased up. We've had some nice rotations in this market. So like when we broke 75.48 and that 9 EMA, you could have just shorted and held it. And we'll go through that on the execution lab. We're not having one today, but we'll have one next week. Stay short. Every single candle, the high of the candle is lower than the next. That's trend down, right? It's beautiful. Your first destination is 75.18. If we break 75.18, we're looking for 75.11, which is the bottom of our zone here, right? So the problem with that long-term short yesterday was yesterday we ripped up and we took out a lot of those short sellers, and then we slammed it back down again. So you would have really had to be on the ball and been shorting that overnight, but overnight was sticky. It was not an easy short to hold because we went sideways for hours before the break. So that's why you have to be a little bit more opportunistic and maybe cut that short up into a couple of trades instead of one big one. You know what I mean? Right? It's like eating a pizza. You can't eat the whole pizza in one sitting. You got to cut it up into pieces. And if you have a smaller account, that's the only way to go. You got to cut that trade up. Take it in pieces, right? Oh, this is good liquidation. This is really good because a lot of the traders that were short from the 28th, they get to cover before the weekend. That's a good thing. That's good business. That's proper business, right? We want a market that's two-sided, right? Don't feel bad about profits, Rags. Don't feel bad about profits. Because when you take a loss, nobody feels bad for you. Don't waste your time feeling bad. You made money on the trade, beautiful. There's always the next one, right? Right? Take what you can and give nothing back. Just like that weirdo pirate said. You know, we are thieves. You know, we're thieves. We get in, we steal what we can, and we get out before they catch us. Now we're coming down to 4 times cost basis discount. That's why we're getting a little bit of short covering here. Let's see if they sell into the short cover, right? A good way to get over that mentality is maybe go knock over a few houses or liquor stores, right? You want to hit the tills, or when you rob a bank, think of it like you're hitting the cash drawers, but you're not going for the vault. Because every time you go for the vault, they get you, right? And the street's full of banks, so you can just go from bank to bank, hit the cash drawers, and get out, right? There's the 18 and a half. A little bit of a bid there, right? You got a whole city full of banks, right? With all drawers just overfilling with cash. You can run in, grab a couple of $1,000 and run out, right? But when you go for the vault, right? You got to go for the vault like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when no one's around, right? Like those movies where they drill underneath the bank, right? It takes weeks of planning, right? Little look below and fail of 18 and a half. Let's see if we catch a bid here. right? Trading is a lot like robbing banks, right? When you first start, you just grab what you can and get the hell out. Never wait for an invitation, right? Let's see if that 18 bid holds. I didn't buy it. Little low on the old discipline today. I should have probably bought 18. Oh well, let's see if it backfills. Yeah, definitely retail trading's a lot like robbing a bank. Give it some time here. We're going to come and test that 18 and a half again. A little long at 21 and a half, out at 23 and a half. Couple of points. Nothing major. So when it came down here, I grabbed the 21 and a halves and I sold the 23s. I'm selling a little early today. My focus is a little. It's Friday. I'm a little tired, so let's watch the backfill. Your next seller is going to be at 27. Wait till it backfills. So if you're long, there's the backfill. Sellers showed themselves, right? Now don't try and buy it until it shows you a bid again, right? Don't buy it unless it shows you a bid, right? When they show you a bid, you can buy it, but when they don't show you a bid, when it's backfilling like that, let it, right? You can take the 22s and throw up an offer at 24 if it holds 22, right? It's okay to scalp this, right? Right, your risk really isn't that big because you're out at 21, 20 half, right? Long 22, out 24. Thank you very much, right? Just keep doing that. You'll be fine. Work it like a market maker. In, out, right? Simple, no nonsense, right? Nice and simple trades. It's only a period, yeah. I need a nap, LC. I need to take my Geritol and take a nap. uh, hey, Leslie, you're up. Just got your coffee? That's right. You're still in Colorado, right? Were you in Colorado in the 80s when they had a stock exchange? The penny stock exchange? I don't think anybody actually is old enough to remember that. They had a penny stock exchange. They had brokerage firms there that they'd pay you out 30% in cash at the end of the day. So if you put away, 100 grand in stock, they'd pay you 30% in cash at the end of the day. Toronto was like that too in the 90s and the 80s. Well, if you could, con some people into buying stock, it was a good way to make a couple of shekels, right? None of us had any money in the 90s, but we had a good time, Leslie. We had a good time. The 90s were we had no money, but we had 20 bucks in our pockets, but we had a hell of a good time. right? Okay, we got a seller at 25 and a quarter. A little back and forth here, right? What do you think the sell order at 25 is? Oh, it's not new shorts engaging, right? That's just wholesalers who are along 1819. That's all, right? It doesn't matter who it is. Could be your grandma, right? But it's a good question. I understand the question. But the cool thing is, Italian trader, that it could be grandma selling there. It could be your grandpa. It doesn't really matter as long as there's a seller, right? You know, and that's the cool thing about this business, right? Because we don't have to overthink things. All we have to do, oh, there's a seller. Okay. So if I'm long 21, I know they're selling 25, I'll sell 24. That's all you have to do. Right? Just use the practical aspect of that information and you'll be fine. Right? Can I tell you something about downtrend? When it shows already in the overnight session. Oh, well, downtrend, do we have continuation? Right? We get downtrend in the overnight, right? And then we get some continuation in RTH. That means that the market is being put on sale, right? That the sellers, the size sellers, are being forced to sell at lower prices to get rid of their inventory. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Common, when it pulls back and you miss your trade, and there's a lot of that. The one thing that you guys got to remember, right? It's like old man Mr. Thompson told me, the guy who owned the first brokerage firm I ever worked at. The old guy was like 76 years old. He came into work every day. It was worth like $600 million, and he took the bus to work. He said, "Kid, be long-term, greedy. You're going to be doing this for a while, right? If you want to do it for a while, just be long-term greedy, right? 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 As long as you're there to make money the next day, the next week, it's okay. You don't have to make money today, right? Just as long as you don't blow yourself up today. That's the big thing, right? Keep the money you made today, right? Keep the money you made last week, yesterday. Just don't blow it all today because you got to be in business tomorrow, right? There's always a tomorrow in this business. But we're creeping up on 11, right? You can't get on the next bus if you're caught under the wheels of the last one. Well, is Bitcoin crashing? I haven't looked. Oh, 60,000. Cool. Oh, I didn't see that. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, the coin of bitterness here. Well, I got a bid at 42,000 on Bitcoin. We'll see if we get there. There's 75.11 and a half, and B period opens. Do we hold 11? Give it some time. Don't worry. If we break 11, we could come down all the way. We're going 8 times cost basis now. Let the large traders do their job. Let them find the bid. Bottoming of 8 times cost basis will be 74.66. Let's see what happens. No, this is not because of the PDT rule. You know what this is because of? Because the entire move that took us to all-time highs was based on short covering, right? So what happens is when you have a move that's based on short covering, when it comes apart, holy man, it comes apart like a cheap suit. Okay? That's one thing you guys are going to learn as this market progresses. Hopefully you learn this, right? When you take a market up on bad structure, when you take a market up on pure short covering, when it comes apart, it just comes apart. There's no bid because the only people who are buying are short sellers. And as soon as short sellers, they're like dogs. When dogs sniff fear, you know what happens. But when short sellers, there's my 11 bid. I'm long 11, selling 14. Thank you. Goodbye. Out. Right? I bought it when it came back up over 11, sold 14. Thanks. Good enough for me. Right? Look below and fail of 75.11. Bad structure? Bad structure is this, my friend. See this? Boop. Right? You want markets to go like this and build some volume out at these levels and then higher and then back and then higher. When it just goes straight up, that's bad structure. It's like a giraffe walking backwards up a ladder, right? So now you guys don't know what structure is because you've actually never taken anything public and structured a company, that kind of thing. Structure will affect how markets and structure will affect how stocks trade. That's why stocks that have tight floats trade differently than stocks that have loose floats. Nice work, ATL. Yeah, I used to laugh at Bitcoin when it first came out. I'd be like, it's based on nothing, right? Nobody knows who the hell invented it. There's no S1. You guys, when you take a security public, you have to publish some sort of a document that tells who the selling shareholders are, right? It's called an S1. SpaceX just filed one, right? It tells you who's taking it public, how much they own, blah, 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 right? Who the selling shareholders are, use of proceeds. There's nothing like that on Bitcoin. Apparently, there's this white paper, but it doesn't tell you who did what. So I was like, they're never going to let this thing go. But the thing is, there's so much spec money out there that the powers that be went, shit, just let them buy it, right? Let's put it in some funds. We got $14 trillion at BlackRock. We own every stock in the world, right? Let's buy something else so we can unload it on people. And there you go. It's beautiful. Is it the future of finance? Could be. How do I know? I'm not that smart. I just own a little bit long term, right? If the 0 and 1 mafia get it together, great. I'll buy a beach house. If not, it was a fun ride, and I don't have a big enough position that it's going to hurt me, right? But I remember in the 90s, we used to sit around and go, hey, what if there was an exchange that had no rules and we could do whatever we want? And there was no SEC, there was no FINRA, There was no FBI. None of that stuff existed. Man, could you imagine? And now there's Bitcoin. Right? Completely unregulated. Right? It's a different world. Okay, 75.18. We got some sellers. Yeah, I don't understand much of it, Common, but I own some. Right? I own a little bit. Because I remember the guys who didn't want to buy internet stocks in the 90s. They missed out on a beautiful run. I'll just trade the chart. Now, I don't trade Bitcoin, right? My cost average now is like 70,000. And so I'll just wait. And, I'm looking for a 42, 45 bid in Bitcoin. Let's see if we get there, right? Beautiful liquidation today. It's going to make some good trading next week. That's for sure. Back under 75.11. We needed a pullback. We really did need a pullback. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. This is very healthy, right? If you are taking longs, if you are taking longs, 75.11 is your point. Your stop's just underneath it, and now you got to sell. You got to sell these 17.18s, right? Now let's see if it goes sideways here and pops up over 18.5, right? Nice, nice, nice. It's good. All those people who were short now, they can cover with some dignity, right? Everyone who got trapped in that move from the 28th, I think it was, right? Yeah, from the end of May, everyone who got trapped in that move from the 28th, they get to come in and cover with some dignity. Beautiful. There's your 17.18 seller. If you're long 12, you should be selling. Right? Everyone who got caught short here, now they get to cover. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, I look below and fail traders going into contract rollover. Right? If you're doing the look below and fail of 75.11 for a longer term trade, be careful. Give it some time to work out 11, okay? Give it some time. And use these levels, like maybe buy 26 or 36. Pay a little bit more. Let the market prove to you, or let it try and put in a B profile here. That's a better odds trade. Right now, it's too early to tell. Scalping 11, selling 17, do that all day. Longer term trades, wait, if you can, right? I mean, unless you're Daddy Warbucks. Any questions? What's going on in the room, guys? You guys okay? Still awake? Cleared the 18s. We're looking for that. Remember, we had that 25 seller, right? Who was asking about that 25 seller? Italian trader, yeah. So if you're still long, right, make sure you're offered. Here we go. Now, if that seller, that group of sellers, they see bids, they're going to lift. After this 3-4 candle move up, I'm always thinking, where are they going to sell into it? Yes, Marky. When the seller is done selling at that level, they will raise what we call the offer. They'll take the offer and move it up. Right now, they're still selling there. You see? If you go and rewind the chart and watch the behavior of the offer at a price, just go and mark a price and then watch when the offer comes and does this. Seller, seller, seller. Oh, there's buyers. Let's lift price. Right? If you're ever in doubt, Rags, use my levels, man. These levels like 75.11, 76.31, right? They're battle tested. I've had these levels since April 2020 and have been extrapolating them, and they work to the tick. Look at the look above and fail of 76.31 3/4, right? After 6 years, many contract changes, the levels will work to the tick. It's not because I'm smart or anything. It's because this market is highly automated, right? I do have SPY levels. Hang on. Stay with me. It's not because I'm smart or anything. It's just because this market is so wonderfully automated, right? It's beautifully automated. It's so precise, right? Well, remember, when you get too greedy, Rags, I got a great solution for greed. Take your hand and put it on your desk for greed and stupidity. Anytime you get too greedy or stupid, take your left hand and put it on your desk. Then you take a hammer and you hit your left hand as hard as you can. Trust me, after 1 or 2 times, you'll stop being greedy and stupid. It works like a charm. Works like a charm, right? If we were sitting next to each other on a trade desk, I would just grab a phone with an extra long cord and whip it at your head. And remember those old phones from the 80s? Those things can they can really, really do some damage, right? So after I hit you in the head a couple of times, you're going to stop being greedy. It works like a charm. Trust me, right? It's the best trading psychology you'll ever get. Alrighty, coming up to those 25s again. Let's see if they hammer it again. If they see buyers, they'll raise price. You'll also have a broken hand and a huge ER bill. That's okay. You guys have insurance. You'll be fine. Just put some Vicks on it. You'll be fine. Put a little VIX, right? You'll be perfect. Okay? Guys, remember the movie Dodgeball where the guy throws wrenches at people? That's basically that's the way I'd love to teach trading. Right? Every time you do something stupid, I throw a wrench at you. Right? When I worked on a trade desk, how did they react to this news stuff? Well, we were trading stocks where we knew that there was news coming because they were our clients' deals, and our clients said that they were going to put news out. So we knew the news was coming. And a lot of the times we wrote the news releases for the company because the CEO was drunk. So we kind of look at news a little differently, right? And because we weren't retail traders, if a news event happened and somebody started like buying the crap out of the stock, if we had stock, we'd be selling the shit out of it. Be like, oh, suckers, dump, dump it, dump it, dump it, dump it, dump it, right? Alrighty, next stop, 31.5, right? Beautiful short covering. Yeah, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Exactly. What do you mean stick to a level? Uh, what did I say it? In what context did I say it, Jimmy? When I said draw a level and then watch how the offer reacts? Is that what you're referencing? There's 31.5. If we clear 31.5, we're looking for 34 and change, 34.35. Just use the levels, right? When it comes to the trade, just stick to the level. Yeah, just stick to the level I tell you to stick to. If I say look for a look below and fail of 18.5, stick to the level. Don't go looking for all kinds of, like the song says, don't go chasing waterfalls. You know what I mean? It means focus. Focus on the level, right? When it comes to that trade of the look below and fail, have like sniper-like focus, right? Summer's really nice here in Liverpool. It was really hot. Now it's kind of cool, but not much rain. Well, yeah, you're focusing on the offer at that level. You're not wrong. You're right, Jimmy. Don't worry. You're right. You're focusing like say if we're looking. Let me just go draw a line, okay? Let me draw a line at 32. Okay? Now I don't want you to watch 32, and I want you to watch the red line. Does it come up above 32 and print and keep going? Or does it come up above 32 and come back down? Then it's telling you, right? See how the offer is lifting over that level? That means the sellers at that level saw buyers. Now they're pushing price down underneath that level. Do you see what I'm talking about? So I just want you to focus on this line and this red line and see how it goes back and forth. There you go, right? There you go. Right? So now they're putting it on sale, right? Now they're putting it on sale. Now it's coming back up. Now when it opens, the next candle comes. You're going to look and see if it can get back over 32. If it can't, then you know that the sellers are marking down price. Okay? Right? That's all I mean. So you draw a line and you watch the offer as it moves up and down over that line. So remember how you were saying the speed of the offer if it's really fast? If it lifts over that line really fast and stays over it and keeps moving really quickly over it, it means there's a lot of buying coming in and the sellers are reacting really, their algos are reacting very quickly and raising price to take advantage of that. See? Now we had that 25.5 seller, right? We took the position under 25, we sold it up at 31. Now we're putting it on sale. Let's see if we get back underneath that 25.5, 25.75. This is how you look at markets, and it gives you intelligent information that you can actually use, right? And that's what it's all about. Exactly, Cloner. What if it never closed above that level and it looked above and came back down? Ha! Now you know that sellers are competing and they're putting stuff on sale. Think of it as just sellers competing. The thing is with retail, we never get to understand the concept of competition because we sell a couple of contracts here and there. But there are traders and wholesalers that are selling thousands of contracts and they're all competing. So when they start seeing others marking down price, they react as well. And when they all start marking down price, the buyers run away. And then we have to go down to a level where we find the bid, where we find those big buyers, and then we walk away from them and try and get them to pay more. That's why it's a constant, this kind of thing, right? So like Walmart and Costco have the same TV, okay? Costco starts undercutting Walmart. Walmart starts undercutting Costco. You know, hey, we will not be undersold, right? That's what that basically is. Yes, you should have your levels beforehand, Espill. That's why we call it preparation, right? Very good. Very good. All righty. Any questions before we wrap this up? Thank you, everyone, for a good week. Appreciate you guys. Folks on YouTube, come into our trading room. Do yourself a favor. We'll teach you how to make money without all the double talk and confusing stuff. Trading is simple. It's not easy. We'll help, okay? It's a good room. It's cheap. And you're going to learn how to trade from someone who's basically been stealing your money for the last 30 years. So, learn from someone who's done it. Okay? Thank you very much. It's been a great week. And thank you, R. Croy, for all your help with the squiggly line stuff. Really appreciate it. We'll work on it. a bit more next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay out of trouble, right? Go get in some trouble for me, but don't get caught because I can't bail you out. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Much love. And we'll see you bright and early Monday morning. Bye for now.